Either here or here, right? Or here, but no moves would help here. If it goes here, it sets up for that discovery attack, right? Discovered attack. Yeah. Hmm? Why? This is a taking queen. Queen is lost.
Well, checkmate is what
I take
I still think the queen is the better thing to attack.
If he goes here, again the same move.
No, but saying knight take e8 earlier. But we didn't play that.
It's defensible though.
Which one is it?
AC, come over and show us. I don't.
Oh, no, he's saying it's defensive.
Yeah, it is with the pawn.
Oh, with the pawn?
Yeah.
Then you repeat the move again.
Then I guess
Pawn move.
pawn this one.
Then you take the pawn back. I mean, he just keeps taking out his position.
But then this free that a square that he may maybe.
It's still bad for playing.
I mean, it's many ways white can but attacking queen, it looks like a.
Well,
me,
it's just that this move has continuation, though. That's what I like about this, taking the rook. You have continuation.
so basically it doesn't go into the corner, it goes here, right? And then again, double attack. Remember, here is a double attack again. Just today I...
Oh, yeah, that's over.
Go ahead.
That's over.
Yeah, it's over now. So I double attack. Attacking the queen and threat of checkmate. Threat of attack, which means checkmate.
Okay, so you can do a pawn move. I mean, lose your queen, but pawn move.
I think in the game he went to h7 though, didn't he? Did he go to h7? Knight. The knight. White knight.
Oh, really?
He went to h7. Queen, king went to f8. White knight went to h7. It's over.
You mean here?
Sure.
Yeah, you guys get back.
Oh.
You guys get back. So this is a, you see, it's a double attack. Double attack. If queen moves, let's say to leave space open, still knight is controlling that escape exit square, right? For the king. So you see two pieces, but everything was set up beforehand. You know, all white's play was shaping the battle, and that final strike. And that's important. You need to shape the enemy, shape the opponent all the time. You need to see again that neutral adaptation. So anything you do, it's you need to modify your strategy, you need to modify your tactics based on what your opponent is doing. So if you wanna maybe real quick one more time to see that the seeds of what happened were sown long before what happened in the end. So let's see real quick again for you to see. So that's what you need to do all the time. Watch your opponent. Try to understand what he's planning. You know, sometimes it's easy, just an immediate threat. It's threatening your queen. But sometimes it's like it's not easy to see what's going on. We cannot get through each move by the opponent, but at least we need to try. That's a habit we need to develop. To watch for the opponent all the time, and again that a structure right in the center with a stronghold here, it entire position of the second player, you know, it depends on the strength of this point, right? It doesn't let, again, white to go. You see a little pressure here. So this is you see the first contact, right? This is the first contact established between two armies. The first sort of a skirmish, kind of between. It's very important, you know, how that situation is gonna resolve by releasing tension. That was the seeds, you know, for that knight could go, and you know, all other things that happened here. So let's see, right? Knight pawn goes here. I think it was something like this. Again, preparing for possible opening of c5, right? Knight goes here. Another knight. You see, they're like mobilizing troops, but for now, it was only after that a dark squared bishop exchange that a white knew what to do, and that's why he's a great player, because he sensed what's going on. That's another point. Any exchange changes position. That it cannot be of every time we exchange, even bishop for bishop. The balance of power on the board changes. So if we could learn when and how to exchange pieces, every time we would get a small advantage, and that would accumulate over 2-3, let's say, trades, you know, and then you get at the point that when you can do something. So that's a art of trade, how and when to trade your pieces, right? So where are we now? It was a knight f3, right? And the pawn supporting here, queen gets out. So basically they're developing nothing. It's still not clear how, in what direction, you know, the things are gonna go. It was that a unfortunate plan by black to exchange bishops. That's how everything started, basically. So let's see. The rook goes here. The pawn move for the bishop. That was a, I don't know if that was a already anticipation, or I don't know. But that came in handy, you know, for bishop after that release of tension to go here, right, and does that.
Momir, don't you think that grandmasters often make moves for multiple purposes?
Of course.
And they're looking for the intersection of, you know, several ideas, or
right.
What move solves most of those problems, if not all of them.
Exactly. That's flexibility. So that's a, when shaping the battle, that's a great point. You make such moves that your possibilities are open, right? You can do whatever your opponent has done, and then you take a proper action that mostly favors you and gives you the most interest, so to speak. So after that pawn move, what happened next? Hey, bishop, declare your intentions. He gets back, and now that's what was the plan. That was the black wanted just to exchange and try to, by trading pieces, maybe to get some relief. But on the contrary, that was a bad exchange. So now you see that release of tension. This square is now not controlled by black. So remember that knight? You know, so it's a concession basically in the center, trying to do something that is not beneficial for second player exchange of bishops.
He also activated white's bishop, brought his bishop into the fight when it was at a very bad square.
Right, right. That's right. So it, yes, that's right. So let's see, knight with the tempo, like attacking the bishop, and it looks like a, you know, with tempo, but with that knight going back in few moves, this was exactly what was good for white and for his attack, right? To create that another that weakness even more here on at f6.
If we inventory the movement right now, you look and how many pieces of blacks are still on their initial squares?
Right, right.
3. And white has only the castle rook, which is going to mount.
Right.
That's it.
That's also, you know, like a more power. Central pawns both are mobile, and so that play with pushing the e pawn, that was correct, but white didn't let it happen.
White's bishop is out of the fight completely, and I think that's what black is ultimately trying to solve, because, I mean, look at, it was essentially mated because of white squares, and white bishop is out of the fight. I mean, that's why he could take advantage of it. It's not active.
It's all about activity. So what happens next? Exchange of bishops. That was unfortunate for him. It turned out it was unfortunate. If here was some other player, black may have executed that e pawn move and, you know, and freed the game. But now it has time. You see, it's just in time to stop that e pawn move. So again, the rook move. That was you see. So you try to fight the enemy strategy to keep that hold or that restriction, to keep all those, you see, you cannot, it's a kind of cramp, you know, you need some vent, you know, to get out with those pieces. So this is the only one of the most sensible ways, you know, to do it, but white sees through those plans. Simply keep that hold on the second player. So this is a great move, right? This is not possible. So now it is. Now we block the pawn. Exchange.
So keeps that bishop still inactive.
Bishop is still out. You see? It's out. And it takes time for black, you know, to take and then to again make a knight move and push, you know, it takes time. Meanwhile, white simply sacked the pawn, open lines, and struck.
I think Rubinstein probably.
Yeah, so that's and now knight. Right, because again that release in the center, it did help white.
Wasn't it bishop e1 first?
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, inducing that weakness. That's right. That's right. Thanks, Kobe. Exactly. So now this guy takes, and now. So it looks now that f6 should have been played. f6 should have been played, but
well then F4.
that would be better than what happened in the game. But those supporting. Oh, this is a something that happened, right? And now, yep, let's say the tactics that so nothing comes by itself. You need to work hard. You need to build. You need to build up your position to the point where tactics is there, and you can use it against the. And you see, it's a opening of that big diagonal. Who cares about that pawn? I don't need it. I'm attacker. I want to open lines. If you defend, you want to close lines of attack. You want to close strategic roads into your camp. Here, just two. That's a again, this one of war principles. Not only war principles, with minimum investment, with minimum force, you do the job, right? So economy of force, right? Only two. No.
There's something to be said about the relationship of the enemy pieces, though, too, because look at it. It's just perfect for the knight because of the spacing between the rook and the knight. And then also from that move, one move later, you can attack the queen. I mean, it's also attack. I mean, there's something that the grandmaster seems to gravitates. But look at the spacing of those pieces. It's because the pre-move to that knight, it doesn't look obvious. Like, why would you move it? But when you start noticing on the board, look at the relationship of the enemy pieces. It's perfect for a knight to exploit.
And it's exactly how knights should be employed in the game of chess. They need basically, they're like a short-legged beasts, right? So they need time to cross the middle line and take part in the battle. So here that was a springboard for a getting deep into Black's camp here, and now it's over, right? No way to get out.
Now even Black's pieces are in the way, so like the queen wasn't there, the
Right.
attack fails, but the queen's in the way.
Right. So that's exactly, queen got there to support that, which was okay, but White's play turned that move into a target for that discover double attack by the two.
And would limit the king mobility.
Right. That's amazing. I mean, it's a short game, but it's so instructive, telling us first the second player great weakness. That wasn't enough. This maybe just a slightly better for White, but then White sensed that. Again, you fight the enemy. Whatever you do, it must be related to what the other side is doing.
Well,
right?
Another thing that GMs always play with, they have this thing called initiative. When they're attacking, they make sure they keep pressing you so you never get a chance to attack them.
Right.
They keep attacking you and you're defending.
Right.
Eventually you run out of defense, or your defense is great holes.
That's right.
One defense opens up another hole.
That's right. That's also basically how you shape your opponent, through exactly what you just said, through a initiative. Because when you're attacking, the other side cannot think about their plans, constructive plans, right? They're just reacting to what you are doing, right? So their options are narrowed down. So that's how you shape, right? By initiative.
That guy knows about that. Every time I play him, I feel it.
So what you need to do, wrestle out initiative back to you, and that's what
I need
happened.
to make you make me move twice. Okay.
Maybe we'll set up a handicap system.
But by nature, initiative cannot last forever. And there's a turning point. Whatever you do, it like it takes time and energy. In the war, you know, you gain space, you expand, so you need to cover all that. So it's in nature of things. Initiative at some point it extinguishes. So if you haven't done something to capitalize on that, it's simply temporary. So
it's not there forever.
Right. So that's one thing, to be aggressive, to take initiative. That's one thing to shape opponent. The second thing, a fight his strategy. That's how you shape the opponent, right? You don't let him, you know, go with these plans, and psychologically that's also like it hurts when you are planning on something and the other guy every time, you know, he stops. And the third is a holding strategic lines and points. That's important, because if you hold here in the center, the other side cannot come and use the force efficiently against you. So those are three things: to be aggressive, and it's everywhere. I mean, I put on that post what Djokovic, current #1 in tennis, before his match with Federer, French Open. That's what he said. I need to be aggressive. I need to, you know, because Federer, his play, his strategy, he wanna get to dominate, to take the control on the court. So you need to fight his strategy. So that's why Djokovic was aggressive, to not let Federer to play his game, to impose his game on Djokovic. And that happens all the time. You also said before, if it's a aggressive player, then how can you impose your game on him? Maybe you open game in a strategic way, you know, so he doesn't feel well.
I think if you're playing really sharp, aggressive players, take away all of your loose pieces. Don't give them any targets. Have everything protected, and jam the center as best you can, because you're taking away mobility from his pieces. Typically, if you have the center jammed early in the middle game, tactical players, very aggressive tactical players, will trade pawns just to get lines. But if you can keep those blockaded and trapped, it frustrates tactical players, aggressive.
And they may force things by creating some weaknesses.
They'll make poor decisions just psychologically sometimes, because that's not their game and they feel very uncomfortable. Right. And they know that when they lose, it's because they can't get their pieces active. And that's more tactical player than I think just aggressive. But
tactical players are like trying to win in the middle game as opposed to the end game.
Well, tactics can, yes. I mean, typically, yes. Yeah, they try to